Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Michelle from Fine Natural Hair and Faith. Welcome to you if you are new here. So in today's video, I wanted to give a quick talk about the topic of protein in hair care. I feel like there's a bit of murky waters along that topic, and I wanted to clear some things up. Now, before I get started, you may disagree with some things I'm about to say, and I am not a licensed professional. However, I am a really good researcher, and I have come in contact with a lot of hairdressers and, found out that protein sensitivity is really not a thing. Yep, there it is. I said it. Now let me further explain, because you may say, well, whenever I use protein in my hair gets hard or my hair starts to break. That, my friend, is not protein sensitivity. It's more than likely protein overload. So here's the thing. There's two reasons you would want to use protein in your hair. One, if it is breaking, because there's gaps along the hair shaft and those gaps need to be filled in, and that can only happen with a protein treatment. Or you're using protein as a maintenance in your hair so that it can stay strong and fortified. Now let me say this, not everybody needs to use protein all of the time. It's not necessarily something you do every wash day. I have fine natural hair, and I find that I can use a small amount of protein in my hair on a regular basis. That's because my strands are really fine. So protein serves to help fortify my hair. This is where the fact part actually comes in. There are different types of protein. Unless you've used every single type of protein available, there's no really real way to say, oh yeah, well, I'm protein sensitive. If you used protein in your hair, one, did you balance it out with a deep conditioner afterwards? And that is using a deep conditioner to restore the balance of moisture. Did you do that? Because if you didn't do that, if you use the heavy duty protein treatment, your hair is going to be hard. And so I wrote an article about this years ago, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box below, because when you're writing something, you can take the time out to kind of organize your thoughts better on paper. At least that's how it is for me. So the types of protein, there's silk protein, there's wheat protein, there's collagen, I'm going to list all the proteins right here on the screen. I'm going to list them. If you notice, you have to look at your hair products to determine the type of protein. If you're using something, let's say for example, Affigy. Affigy is a heavy duty protein that should only be used if your hair is breaking. Like you've been moisturizing, but your hair is breaking. And more than likely, you've got some issues on the hair shaft that's causing that breakage, that weakness. Another thing with protein is that you have to get enough in your diet. Most of us do not. Unless you're like sucking up like protein smoothies all the time, it's our diet. First of all, the SAD diet, the standard American diet, we do not consume the amount of protein and other nutrients that we need for our body to be completely beneficial. A lot of our food is very just not quality. So I was looking for a word, degraded. I forget what the word I was looking for. But anyway, our food is not the quality that it was from our ancestors' days. If you're using protein in your hair, you must use a deep conditioner afterwards. Here's another fact. A lot of manufacturers now are making their products to be balanced with protein and moisture, because your hair really does need both. So to say my hair is protein sensitive when your hair is actually made up of mostly protein is like saying, okay, I have blood in my body, I'm blood sensitive, I can't get a blood transfusion to save my life. Like, come on. I'm not trying to be like facetious or smarty pants or anything like that. Don't get offended. Please do not get offended. I am really sharing this to help, because there are people that I know of who their hair is breaking, but they will not use protein because they say, well, it makes my hair break more. And the thing is that protein is fortifying, and if you do too much, that's protein overload, and then your hair is going to break. So that makes a whole lot of sense. But if you are moisturizing and you actually are doing things to damage your hair, like using a lot of heat and you've weakened the hair strand, protein can fill in gaps along the hair shaft. And that's what makes it actually necessary for hair care. If you're not a person who's doing things to damage their hair on a regular basis and you get an adequate amount of protein and you're sure of that, you may only require a little bit of light use of proteins, or the hair products that you're already using contain some form of protein. I look at a lot of deep conditioners and I notice that even though it's a deep conditioner, if you look really far down on the ingredient list, you may see silk protein. You may see a little something in it that's actually protein. And so then you don't really have a need to use a separate protein treatment. I use henna as a form of strengthening for my hair, but I also use protein treatments from time to time. I used to use a goat's milk DIY recipe that was really, really effective, very fortifying, but it was also balanced with moisture because it contained humectant honey and other beneficial like oils and things of that nature. But let me just say, I was talking to a hairdresser and she was just like, yeah, it's not protein sensitivity is not really a thing. It's protein overload that people are getting when they use protein, when they don't need it, or they're using the wrong type of protein. So if you've noticed that your hair has been breaking and you know you've been moisturizing, maybe you need a protein treatment. And I would say look for a light protein treatment to start. You'll find that also with protein, in order for it to really get into the hair shaft, it should be hydrolyzed. Typically protein molecules are too large to get into the hair shaft. So, there has to be some things to like kind of break it down so that it can adhere. But anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know in this video, like in the comment section below, what do you think about the whole protein sensitivity, if you now see that it could be protein overload versus protein sensitivity. Thank you for watching and I will catch you in my next video. Be blessed, my friend.